Good evening. I'm Lou Bordisso, and allow me to express my heartfelt thanks and appreciation for your unyielding Alzheimer's support. I am honored and humbled to stand among you this evening as a person living with younger onset Alzheimer's. And since my diagnosis about 4.5 to 5 years ago, I find myself now in early retirement, living on Social Security disability, and no longer able to drive, actually ordered not to drive by my neurologist and the transportation department. I am completely dependent on public transportation. And nowadays, I'm unable to manage my financial affairs and even my day-to-day medication. Either I take double doses or I forget to take my Alzheimer's medication altogether. So my short-term memory is impaired, and I've got a lot of difficulty nowadays judging distance and space, and my balance is impaired. And so oftentimes on my exercise walk, I use a cane. So needless to say, my life as I had known it and the dreams that I have had for my future have been shattered because of my life now with younger onset Alzheimer's. So as my mind becomes more cloudy and my cognitive functions decline, I become more and more interdependent on my medical providers and my care partners, the Alzheimer's Association programs, and heartfelt compassion from people like yourselves. I'm often asked how I cope with and what gives me the courage and the hope in the midst of this disease, in the midst of daily strife. And reflecting on these questions, I think back on my medical history. As a teenager, I had 2 back surgeries where I was going paralyzed from the waist down because of a birth defect. And after each back surgery, I had to be in bed for several months, 6 or 7 months. And due to lying in bed, my legs became extremely weak in the muscles, and so I had to learn how to walk over again, basically 3 times, as an infant and twice as a teen. So my father, my late father, would come into my bedside, and he would extend his arms when I was learning how to walk again every morning. And I would place my arms in his, and he would pull me out of bed, and he'd shuffle me a few feet back, and then he would shuffle me a few feet forward. To eventually, I was able to kind of make it from the bed all the way down the driveway and shuffle back again. I was confident in his arms, and eventually, I was able to walk again. But for me, living with younger onset Alzheimer's is similar to learning how to walk again, and the confidence that I had in my father's arms when he would hold me up in my time of need. However, the difference is now that I'm no longer holding on to my father's arms, but I'm resting my arms in the arms of the Alzheimer's Association, my Alzheimer's support group, and my care partner. Just as my father's arms gave me a sense of hope and courage, I know that your arms are extended and that I can place my arms in your arms, and I can count on you in my hour of need. So in closing, I would just like to take a moment and ask you to please sit in your chair and extend your arms on your lap just for a moment, as my father did. Now imagine the person with Alzheimer's in your life who inspired you to be here this evening. Imagine your father, your mother, your uncle, your aunt, that person now has their arms in your arms. The person whose arms are resting in yours is thanking you for all that you have done, all that you are doing, and all that you will continue to do on behalf of Alzheimer's. So for those people who are living with Alzheimer's and those people who have passed away from Alzheimer's and those people who are yet to be diagnosed with Alzheimer's, we give you our gratitude from the depths of our hearts. Because of you and your commitment to a world without Alzheimer's, I and others have a reason to hope. We have a reason for courage. We have a reason for strength in order to shuffle through life, comforted, knowing that our arms are resting in your arms. Helen Keller once said, "It all comes down to this. The simplest way to be happy is to do good." From where I stand, looking at each and every one of you in this room, there's a lot of people out here who are very happy because you're doing an awful lot of good, and I thank you.